Now they'll run it on the toss. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he... brought down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Low. Down.
Now Carr. He completes it to Bryant. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Here's Coleman. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space. Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Coleman. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now they'll throw with Carr. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Lee Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Now the rookie first-rounder from San Diego State, it's Rashad Penny. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. And look who, the former Seahawk first-round pick, Bruce Irvin. In there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Take care of Dean. In there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken around the 12. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
In on the stop, Bradley McDougald.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Down. 694. 637.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Was open. To make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we drop. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And that play was vintage Derek Johnson. Made a play in the backfield. In college, he did as an outside linebacker. Used speed to get to the backfield. Now, a bulked-up inside linebacker with multiple Pro Bowls on his resume.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fielded at the 20. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in position. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Now they'll run on the draw. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr, wide open receiver, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play. They'll run with Lynch. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Marshawn Lynch scoring a touchdown against his former mates. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This fielded at the 2. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need?
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Derek Johnson. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? He's having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted but it winds up falling incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And that is going to sail wide right. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This one caught left side by Cooper. And he's able to get it all the way down to the 20. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 48 yards. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
14.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll run it now out of the gun. A great move, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Drops it off for Coleman. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is taken at the 18. Oh, good move. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. A second quarter score from down in Houston. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Wilson now, throwing again. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. And the Raiders have got him. Bruce Irvin in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. On 3rd down, Wilson. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Quick hitch, complete. It's Bryant. Able to avoid him at the 40. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half. Now they'll run it on the toss. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Go, 14.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. 23 yards on the play. Final play of the half, it's Wilson. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, as they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now third down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Here's Wilson on third down. Steps away to his left. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
Big jumbo! Big jumbo! Big jumbo!
A handoff to Penny. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Come on, Matt. Come on, Matt. Quiet. Clean 80. Let's go, 14.
On second down, here's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Derek Johnson. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet and make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now they'll run it on the toss. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Raiders on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Carr. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
To throw is Wilson. To throw on 3rd down. He's got his man. It's Williams. A good pickup there at 22.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll try and run forward with Davis. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Man, it's a tough area in the field to try and run a draw play out of the gun. You know you're going to face a good push up front, and here they swallow him up for no gain.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson, rolling to his right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Here's Davis. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal.
Nice job holding him out of the end zone on 3rd down, but give a big assist to the crowd. They've been with him the entire game and have spurred them on. Here in the second half, they've really helped elevate their play.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Welcome back now here in London. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
White down. White. Down. 180. 734.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
The Raiders on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Carr going to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Wide open, Amari Cooper. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Amari Cooper, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the fourth. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the fourth. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is taken at his 4. And now running right through it. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Out left side here to Bryant. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
734.
Shotgun now for Carr. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Throwing on first down is Carr. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Now Zaire Jones busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Chief. 12 jumbo. 618. 637.
Carr to throw on second down. And got his man complete. A gain of 32 that time. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Carr. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's McBride. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Monday down. Express. 24.
To throw on 2nd down. Carr, flush to his right. Lets it go for Nelson. It's caught inside the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 32 that time. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Carl come up here with a 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. A give to the fullback on the dive. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll look to throw. And he's got his tight end, Cook, in the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. Jared Cook, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He's back to throw, and he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's third down. This is where you learn a lot about rookie quarterbacks. How can they run that 2-minute drill? We're about to find out.
Yeah, and for them, it's not just proving it to guys like you and me watching the game and trying to beat a defense. It's proving it to their teammates that they can have the confidence in them when they line up in these situations.
And an alley to run. And blocked down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Buying time to his left, underneath to Davis. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Back to throw. They'll roll him out right. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. That'll bring up second down. A really nice knockdown. He gets so much pressure in these situations on defensive backs. What are they taught?
Play the ball, not the man, because if you have a pass interference penalty in this spot, boy, oh boy, you put your team in a bad place.
He'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. Now a desperation throw. And this is caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Amari Cooper with time running out. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the fourth. So now a two-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks.
Go left, 14.
They're going to try and run. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. Out to kick is Janikowski. This will be taken short. And not a particularly good return here, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And that's how this one ends. In dramatic fashion in overtime with the interception. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.